All right, now we're talking about musical artists and their biopics. Basically, off the cusp of the New Edition story, the Bobby Brown story, and I've already done a video talking about, should BBD, Johnny Gill, and Ralph Tresvant each get biopics and my thoughts on that. But I was just thinking because there have been a lot of articles that dropped since the Bobby Brown story talking about who should be the next one. Should it be Destiny's Child, Jodeci? Um, Teddy Riley and the Escape, and the list goes on. And don't get me wrong, I am excited for any biopic that drops, but based off things like Lifetime's Whitney and the Aaliyah movie and biopic and stuff like that and how awful they were. Well, the Whitney one wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as it should have been. But yeah, the Aaliyah one, I couldn't even make it through the 30 minutes of it. The Tony Braxton one was actually pretty decent though. And the thing about it is, I feel like these things shouldn't be rushed. It's almost like the New Edition story and the Bobby Brown story, or let's just focus on the New Edition story. Yeah, the New Edition story is kind of like the Avengers, like the Marvel of the biopic world, and it's been in the works for like what, 10 plus years. Like New Edition was saying they were trying to sell it like 10 years ago, but nobody really thought the story was going to be good, or they were trying to put it into theaters, but you couldn't really go into their history in like 2 hours or so. And then Bobby didn't sign the paperwork back then, which was actually a blessing in disguise. And to be completely honest, I'm glad the New Edition story came out in the social media era that we're in, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, and stuff like that, because I feel like the social media mania behind the actual movie helped the ratings, helped the songs go to the top of the charts and whatnot, because people were downloading them, buying them off of iTunes and Apple Music, and watching it from their devices. So that really helped. I'm not saying that a film and whatnot back then would have worked, but I feel like this was the perfect time because of the social media era. The cast that they picked was phenomenal. But the thing about it was, I'm sorry, the wind's actually picking up. Ooh, hope that's not going to cut out the power. But yeah, I feel like the fact that the movie was, for one, a 10-year project in the making, the fact that all the group members are alive and well and were able to contribute to the film, so it's as accurate as possible, which is something that a lot of people downplay on some biopics, like like the Temptations, a classic, but at the same time, like, well, it's based off Otis Williams' book and he's the only one alive, so it's from his perspective and stuff like that. But at the same time, with the New Edition film, the fact that everybody was able to contribute makes it more and more accurate to the truth, so it leaves a lot of things not unanswered, which is good. But the thing about it is, the fact that biopic did so well, now a bunch of other people are trying to rush and do theirs. That's either a good or bad thing, because sometimes there's unresolved issues, kind of like the New Edition, because, and we obviously see that now because the group is quote unquote, broken up at the at this moment. But sometimes those old wounds aren't healed, unresolved issues, and sometimes people will debate on what should be in the film, what shouldn't be in the film. And not to mention, they need to take the time to make sure the story is told right. I'd rather wait 2 or 3 years for like a Jodeci or a Destiny's Child biopic if it's done right. If they take the time, the casting is done. I feel like the New Edition story set the bar so high that anything else that's like, just rush it'll be like comparing Captain America Civil War to Batman v Superman. Do you see what I mean with that? In terms of like the New Edition story being like the Marvel biopic, and then everything else from like Lifetime is kind of like DC, cinematic universe, where they throw the stuff out there, but it doesn't really work. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, honestly, like the whole Bruno Mars Prince thing, the biopic, apparently that's not happening, which is good. And it's not because of Bruno Mars possibly being the one that would have played Prince. That's not really what my problem was. I just feel like it's too soon. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Prince has only been gone for like a little over 2 years at this point. I feel like it's too early. I feel like Selena was like a biopic that was put out very soon after her death, but it was amazing. It was amazing. And yeah, some things you just can't rush. I feel like, you know, Prince, for example, no, just not let his legacy live on a little more. You know, like I do believe they're doing like the Purple Symphony or whatnot. Then, you know, they're re-releasing a bunch of albums. Like let it, you know, marinate for a little while, then do a biopic down the road. There's no need to rush that. But yeah, I feel like whatever biopic comes out next is definitely going to be looked at with a critical eye compared to the New Edition story. But I just hope whatever biopic comes out next is done well. I do believe some people recommended the TLC biopic. I believe that was on what, VH1 or MTV or something like that. That's been out for a couple years. I should really, yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I think, who was it, like Drew Sidora, Keke Palmer, and Little Mama playing TLC. Yeah, I definitely need to go back and watch. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on biopics in general. What musical group or what musical artist should be the next one to have a biopic? Are you like me where it's like, I'd rather them take their time and make sure the story is told right with the best casting possible, rather than it's like, oh, well, the New Edition story did so well, we need to rush and put some out there as well for our story because their numbers blew up with the music sales, so this is a good time for us to, you know, cash in on ours. Yeah, I mean, again, the Bobby Brown story just dominated with the ratings as well, so that's two monsters from the New Edition team, so really, you need to tread lightly with that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you in the next video.